everybody.
Hello.
Oh, we're like shiny behind us, like the shiny sky, even though we're not out there in the shiny sky.
We had a little bit of an abrupt start.
We did, and a
just
late start.
Bumped the record button before we were quite ready.
And the camera almost fell down. So, you
Here
know,
we are.
it's your standard technologically challenged episode of Chattin with CHAP. So anyway, I'm Ginger.
I'm Dee.
And I'm Christy.
And this is Chattin with CHAP. Live
So-
on location.
On location at lunch.
Yeah.
We had a lunch meeting.
Sorry we're late.
So we are here to talk about all things Evaluator. And if you don't know Christy, who are you?
I work for CHAP. I do the e-news, so if you get the emails, that comes from me. And I just took over doing some things on social media too. So.
Awesome.
So she's
We
helping
are so
social-
thankful for her.
Amen.
So thankful.
Yes. So here we are talking all things Evaluator.
Yeah. But announcements.
do you have announcements?
Do we have announcements?
We didn't even talk about
Okay.
it. Today is very abrupt.
If you've missed it, the CHAP convention has been canceled.
Yes.
We just keep saying it because I'm afraid there's still people that are
Don't
not
know.
sure about that. Yeah, no CHAP convention, but we're pivoting, we're shifting, and there's going to be some webinars, so keep
Oh,
your
yeah.
eye out. The first one is coming up August 6th at 2 p.m. It's how to get started homeschooling. And we have our wonderful Christy actually doing that. So you will see more information on that coming out really, really soon. I'm working on it. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I'm a live event girl, so I'm shifting to this
digital.
online event, and I'm trying.
We're doing it.
I'm
We're
doing
doing
it.
it.
I can do it.
Yes, and Homeschool University is well on its way, and keep your eye out for that. And that is actually good for new homeschoolers or even seasoned homeschoolers, because the content, it's just really good. It's really good to go through, process, think about again, you know, slow down, gain information. So
Yep.
that'll be really helpful too, and so needed.
So we're talking all things Evaluator, and the first thing we want to say is if you're homeschooling, everyone needs one.
Yes.
So there's
Yes.
that.
6 and older, you need an evaluator.
There's that.
There it is. So, okay, evaluators. Christy, let's talk a little about like picking an evaluator. Like,
Sure.
you know,
Yeah,
How do you
so
do that?
you want to pick an evaluator that really gets your family and your philosophy. So if it's not a good fit, you can switch evaluators.
Yay!
Definitely,
Yes.
it's not set in stone. Look for one that's affordable. I always tell people, you know, $30 to $60 per child. Elementary would be the lower end of that, and high school would be higher. You know, maybe a little higher is fine. Definitely someone your children feel comfortable going to visit. I have heard some horror stories about like children being quizzed and things like that. So that should not be happening. My children would, even if they knew the answer, would totally choke up if that happened. So yeah, you want to find somebody who feels like a good fit for your family, and don't be afraid to change the next year if it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
I actually had to
You've
do
done
that.
that.
Yeah, I had to do that. We had a phenomenal evaluator, and she did not do high school at the time. Now
Yeah,
she
she
does.
does. I'm still
Because it's
doing
Ginger's
which is
evaluator.
mine.
So I had to make a shift when my oldest got to 7th grade, and we found someone, and we spent 2 years, and it just it wasn't working.
fit.
Didn't feel right. Found someone else, and it's been phenomenal ever since. So don't
Yeah.
feel bad about that. It just, you
kinda
want to find
happens.
somebody that understands your philosophy and the way that you do things, and that you have a good relationship with. So
And just understand, like, evaluators, it's not a scary thing. Don't be afraid of the evaluator. Actually, your evaluator should be your buddy. Like, my evaluator, she's so encouraging to me because I'm like an over-the-top overachiever, type A. I can't do enough. I've got to be missing something. And I go in there and she's like, you guys are doing amazing. Like, this is just so good. And she's so encouraging, and that's awesome. So when you leave your evaluator, you should feel encouraged as a mom in what you're doing.
That's right.
So if you're not feeling that, I think you probably ought to shop around for an evaluator.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And CHAP has a list of evaluators on
Yes.
CHAP Online. Has a list of a tab with
Yep.
a list of evaluators
Yeah,
who
you can check it out.
have signed up for a list.
For sure.
So all homeschoolers need an evaluator, and we're encouraging you to find a good fit for your family. And now we want to just talk about what it is to be an evaluator, because with the influx of homeschoolers, we're going to need evaluators.
Yes.
And so, Ginger, what
Yeah.
are some of the qualifications if you want
Okay.
to be an evaluator?
Yeah, so I have all this wonderful information. to share with you. So there's 5 different people, types, groups of people, whatever you want to say it, that the qualifications for being an evaluator. So one is you're a licensed clinical psychologist. The second option is to be a school psychologist. The third option is you are a Pennsylvania certified teacher with 2 years of grading experience at the level you evaluate. Okay? And then the fourth is a non-public school teacher, so private school, whatever, or an administrator with 2 years PA teaching experience within the past 10 years at whatever level you evaluate. So the levels are, K through 6 and 7 through 12. Okay, and then experience means, so a teacher or administrator who evaluates a portfolio at the elementary level shall have at least 2 years of experience in grading these subjects: English, spelling, reading and writing, arithmetic, science, geography, the history of the United States, Pennsylvania, and civics. Or a teacher or administrator who evaluates at the secondary level shall have 2 years of doing English, language, literature, speech, reading, composition, science, biology, chemistry, physics, geography, social studies, economics, civics, world history, history of the United States and Pennsylvania, foreign language and mathematics, general math, algebra, trig, calculus, geometry. And grading just means the evaluation of classwork, homework, quizzes, classwork-based tests, and prepared tests related to classwork subject matter. So that's what grading experience means. So the difference there, like we talked about private tutors and evaluators don't have to have their certificate like current, like there's continuing ed classes where you have to keep taking them to keep your certificate current. You don't have to do that. I think it's Act 48 is what it is. You don't have to, Act 48. You don't have to have your certificate up to date to be an evaluator or a private tutor. The difference between the two is an evaluator has to have the experience in grading. So as a private tutor, you can go get your degree and jump right into homeschooling as a private tutor. But to be an evaluator, you have to grade for 2 years. And that could include grading your own kids. So say you get your degree, jump into private tutoring. After 2 years of doing homeschool grading, you could then become an evaluator for elementary school. Okay, so that's really cool.
Yeah. So like we said, there's going to be a need for evaluators, and that it's pretty simple on how to become one. It's not, super difficult, so maybe it's something you would consider doing.
Oh wait, I missed number 5. I just realized that. The 5th qualification for being an evaluator is really interesting, okay? So it can be a non-public school teacher or administrator, persons with other qualifications with the prior consent of the superintendent in the district of residence. Have you guys ever heard of this one?
I have not.
No. So you don't have, so listen here. If you have someone that you want to evaluate your kids and you think they have qualifications that makes them able to be an evaluator, you can write to your superintendent and ask them to approve your chosen evaluator. So you would write a letter, a generic letter. We're the homeschooling family, we're in your school district. You could refer to, I think we might have this on homeschoolpennsylvania.org, and if we don't, we'll get it on there. Then you say, we request that you would allow us to use this other person. Here's where they went to school. Here's when they graduated. This is what qualifies them to be my student's evaluator. And then you hand that into the superintendent, and they can approve that.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
I never knew that. So I guess it's
we learn something new.
We
every
did,
time.
every time. So like if we
we
have
do this.
experience and someone else would come to us and say, hey, can you be the evaluator for my kids? And you can say, this is why they're qualified to do it. They've been homeschoolers for, 20 years.
Yep.
And we'd like them to do it. And then you can write that letter into the superintendent, and then you could be an evaluator, which I never knew. Who knew?
Yeah.
Cool. Learn something every day.
So if you are an evaluator and you're not on our list at chaponline.com, we'd love to add you to that list because we want to use that as a resource to help people connect with their evaluators who are looking for someone. Maybe you're new to homeschooling or you're looking for something different, and we'd like to be able to connect you.
Yeah, and there's if you have the qualifications, please consider becoming an evaluator, because there are lots of people where you are asking.
Yeah, we need evaluators.
Lots of
definitely.
people where we are.
Yeah.
There's going to be a shortage, or like the evaluators are going to be like evaluating for months because a lot, so
Yeah.
consider it.
Yeah.
Yep. And current homeschoolers, if you are a certified teacher and you do fit in that, just think at the end of the year, we might not be able to get appointments with our evaluators because of all the new homeschoolers.
Yeah.
So that's a good motivating factor that even if just for this year,
Well, that's
you
true.
should do it. Yeah.
That's true.
And if you are one, let other homeschoolers know that you're an evaluator. Get that word
Yeah.
out there to them so that they know.
Yeah, really getting started, it's just, you don't have to tell anybody or do anything. You just, as long as you have those qualifications, you just go around and say, hey, I'm evaluating. I can be an evaluator. Do you want me to evaluate you? Like I said, you do the CHAP, put your name on the CHAP list.
Yeah.
There's some other groups out there.
Local Facebook groups.
Yes,
Yeah.
Facebook groups is a great place.
You just have to
for
think
that.
about what
That's
your
true.
fee, we talked about that, setting your fee, deciding what your philosophy is and letting people know that, deciding how you want to do them, your evaluations. Do you want to do it in person or right now are you doing it on Zoom or, how do you want to do that? This is the loudest parking. I've been so distracted. I'm so sorry. I'm like,
What's going on?
yeah, what's happening?
So the one thing is, if you want to be an evaluator, and you have people who are part of a diploma program, you actually have to be like, I don't know if it's certified or vetted, whatever the terminology is.
Approved by that,
Approved.
yeah.
You have to go through that diploma program to be approved to be an evaluator for them. So say, what was their Susquehanna Valley
Yeah.
diploma program?
Yeah,
You have to go through them. Yeah, Mason-Dixon, all those guys. You have to go through them to be an approved evaluator. So just make sure if someone's asking you to evaluate a senior high student, you want to make sure
If they're using a diploma program that you are a certified or
yeah.
approved evaluator for
yeah,
that
and they
diploma
probably have their own lists.
Yeah.
I've actually
Yes.
never researched, but I guess they have their own list of
would be.
evaluators
Yep.
out
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
So you can check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't,
And a lot of evaluators will evaluate for several different, like I know my evaluator, she evaluated she could do Mason-Dixon, she could do Susquehanna, like she could do different programs.
yeah, you can,
so.
you can be
Yeah, you don't have to just do one.
you can be certified in a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think that's it. Is there anything on my notes here that I wanted to share? Oh, a few things to keep in mind. Those of you who are evaluators, you can't evaluate your own kids. I know, it'd be great to do that, and your spouse can't do it either. So if your husband's a teacher, he can't evaluate your kids. I know, but
we know.
follow the rules. And so I did talk about teaching your own children can be the 2 years of experience in becoming an evaluator. So again, elementary is K through 6. Senior high is 7 through 12, or secondary, I guess it's secondary, is 7 through 12. And really, evaluators out there, all you're doing is making sure that parents are complying with the law.
Yes.
Like mine always says, she doesn't really care about grades. She wants to see progress.
Yes.
Are you more proficient now than you were in September? So really, that's all we're looking for is
Yep.
getting better, proficiency, that type of thing. It's not, I've completed grade 4. That type of thing. And I covered that one. And reciprocity between states. If you have moved into PA and you had a teaching certificate in a different state, you can check in with our PDE, the Pennsylvania Department of Education, and see if there's reciprocity for teaching certificates. I don't know how the rules work for that, but you can always look into it to see if you can become an evaluator here.
Yeah, that's cool. Because we
Yeah.
need them.
We do. Please consider it.
Yeah.
Please consider.
Consider it, and if, like I said, if you're not on our list, get on our list because
Yeah.
people are looking there. We're
They're
referring
looking for
people
you.
to the list. So,
Exactly.
if you have questions on anything that we shared with you today, drop us a message or say it in the comments, and we'll
Yeah.
try to get some clarification
Yeah, for
if
sure.
there's anything because it's a lot of information.
It is
but-
a lot of information. And one thing that just popped into my head is I guess your evaluator doesn't even need to be where you are
No.
if you're doing it on Zoom.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yep.
Never thought about it.
True.
Zoom.
So can we say
Yeah.
the websites again? chaponline.com and homeschoolpennsylvania.org
Yep.
are the
Stuff
two
is out
places
there.
that you
Yep.
want to go today and check
Yes.
that stuff out.
Check it out. Okay.
Well, next week it will be an
scholarship.
exciting announcement.
It is.
We will be announcing our scholarship winners. We're sad that we couldn't award them their checks at
They're gigantic, oversized checks.
at convention, but we will be doing scholarship winners. So you want to, tune in. Even if you have a small children, elementary children, tune in and watch. Get to know these kids and look, see what the possibilities are for the future.
As they get older,
as they get older.
Yeah. And rising seniors,
yes.
keep it in mind for next year. You want to be part of that
Yeah,
scholarship
you have a kid.
opportunity.
Yes, you have a kid in high school. You want to be a part of that, and also, like I said, just to tune in and see where these kids are at and where they're going, and it'll be fun.
It's cool.
Very fun.
Awesome.
Well,
Okay.
this has been
Chattin' with
Chap.
Chap.
See you next week. See ya.
Bye, everybody.